Yesterday, Liz Kendall lays out the details of the concessions that the Labour government is offering to its backbench MPs in order to try and quell the significant rebellion that has been brewing over the last couple of weeks in terms of, I don't really know how to, but just punishing disabled people.
Yeah.
You know, I know that their rhetoric, they want to make a big song and dance like, no, we're trying to help people into work. We're trying to get people where they can work, they should work. But their own impact assessment, the original plan had 250,000 disabled people being pushed into poverty. They've brought that number down now
to 150,000.
It's only 150,000 now.
We've saved 100,000 of you.
Yeah.
The other 100,000, you're still fucked.
Fuck yourselves. So it is kind of, you know, is Keir Starmer going to be able to punitively hurt some of the most disadvantaged people in our society, who there is quite possibly the strongest case? Like, if you believe in a social safety net, who is it for? If not people who, by and large, through no fault of their own, are at a disadvantage or inhibited in some way compared to able-bodied people? What is the purpose of the social safety net if it is not to look after those people? Like, genuine question.
Yeah.
That is surely what it is for. So what do you gain by hitting those people with a stick?
It's strange, isn't it? It seems like it's just an extension of the whole, we are fiscally responsible, you can trust us with the country's finances, but then rather than being like high economic with it, like getting some really complex taxation systems for wealthy people or corporations or whatever it might be, you're going for like the red meat, like right-wing media, Murdoch media.
Well, it's a Tory calculation.
Yeah. It's Benefit Street on steroids.
Yeah,
you
scroungers.
know?
Yeah.
It's this thing, like the vocabulary around people that are on, well, it benefits one, but disability benefits as well, is that like there is this kind of phenomenon within the public of like, there are people out there that are cheating the system, but the idea that it is so many people cheating the system that from now on, like one of the concessions is that anybody that's on it now is okay. Anybody that wants to get it in future has to jump through more hoops.
Did you hear Kendall saying that yesterday?
Yeah.
She was like, no one who currently claims it will be pushed into poverty.
Yeah. Full stop.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Unfortunately, you know,
I can't speak for the future.
If like by some, I don't know, divine providence, like the number of disabled people in the country is just it's just put in aspic and like just stays, that it's it's stasis.
Yeah.
It stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, you know, human beings have a habit of procreating, and so you know there may be some more.
No, but we have eradicated disability though. Like,
Right. Okay.
You know.
That of course, naturally, yeah. That's fucking hell. That's bleak, isn't it? We've eradicated disability by making life so prohibitively expensive for them that it's basically impossible for them to
live.
Yes,
Yeah.
in this country. Yeah, right. Brilliant. Great stuff, Liz.
What was it? I was just gonna say something there, and it got out of my head.
Right. Well, whilst you're figuring that out, there were about 126 Labour MPs who were threatening to vote down the proposals.
Yeah.
From what I've seen now, I think the latest number is about 40.
It's in and around 40.
There's still a reasoned amendment that's been tabled. You'd assume the Speaker will select it. And there's some question about whether or not the number is higher than that 40 figure, because some Labour MPs don't want to sign it and then be pestered by the whips between now and the vote, but are intending to vote against it. I listened to Andrew Marr talking about this. He seemed to think that the government will get it through because the Tories are going to vote against it, but there won't be enough Labour MPs.
They need 80 Labour MPs to vote it down.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it's going to go that far. Nonetheless, I heard our boy Neil Duncan Jordan talking to Matt Chorley.
He's good value, him, you know. I was shocked to find out he was 2024. He feels like he's been around the block. But I mean, he was a union guy, wasn't he?
He's an older man.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, that's the only reason
not
why
20.
I thought he was an MP for the last 40 years.
Because he's got grey hair.
Because he's old.
He and Chorley says, "Has Keir Starmer ever spoken to you?" And he's like, "No." he's like, "Have you ever met Keir Starmer?" And he's like, "Well, I've been in the chamber during Prime Minister's questions."
I've been in the same room as him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of part of the problem.
I wonder why someone like him was selected in the first place.
Well, because he's got a brain.
But it's like...
No, as in like he's got a brain and they're not looking for an independent thinker.
Yeah. Like he's not a stooge, you know.
No, he's not. But I think a lot of Labour MPs are looking at the collapse in polling and personal favourability for Keir Starmer. They hate Rachel Reeves walking them up hills whenever they're on media being asked about why, and justifying smashing winter fuel payment to pieces to only then reverse the decision, U-turn, and then... So essentially, like, you have the for that constituency MP, that has lost them thousands of votes in their constituency. Like, Rachel Reeves can make macroeconomic arguments all she wants, but for those MPs, they look silly because they're now on record defending something which is relatively indefensible. Already that's a problem, and then it just they back down on it. So
it's a strange hazing exercise, isn't it, to do it in public? No.
It's like a public humiliation fetish.
Yeah, like it feels like
Rachel Reeves with a gimp on a lead, walking them down the high street. You like that, don't you, Neil?
Torsten Bell in a dog mask.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Neil Dungage's fucking had enough. Rachel, I'm not getting in the gimp suit again. I've had enough. No, because for a lot of them, Reform are second place in there. I think it's about 80 constituencies roughly that Reform are second place to the Labour Party. They look at the national polling and go, right, so what? I'll be a one-term...
behind in the constituency.
I'm a one-term MP, and my legacy is cutting disabled benefits and making pensioners colder in winter in the name of macroeconomic stability, because Rachel Reeves has decided that 10 billion of fiscal headroom is in some way adequate when like any kind of global event will just wipe that out. If Trump decides he wants to put an extra 10% tariffs on, so that's gone.
Yeah.
What was it for? And you can probably ameliorate that a little bit if you're Keir Starmer by introducing yourself to some of these MPs and saying,
"Nah, don't be silly.
How do you do? I'm the Prime Minister. You are a backbench MP."
But I think, do you reckon it's a case of him like not recognizing already that he's never going to endear himself to the... Neil Duncan Jordan in particular is a union boy. That's not the kind of person that's like going to be ride or die Keir Starmer for the next 5 years.
But nonetheless, he is a member of the Parliamentary Labour Party.
Sure, but I think it's just like, I wonder if it's genuinely just, there is no point in me trying to schmooze this guy because at some point in the next 5 years, he's going to betray me. Whereas I've got Sam Carling, I've got like whoever else from 24,
Josh Simond.
That's going to just... Either the strongest that they're going to stand against me is going to abstain on something.